Welcome back to Tales of Unusual, the channel that whispers stories you wish you could forget. Tonight's tale is called My Wife's Memories. What would you do if the person you love most started remembering things that never happened, or worse, things you never wanted them to remember? Turn off the lights, put on your headphones, and hold your loved ones close. This is My Wife's Memories. David and Laura had what looked like a perfect marriage. They lived in a cozy house at the edge of a quiet town. David worked as a freelance writer. Laura was a teacher, gentle and kind. For 12 years, they laughed over coffee every morning and read old books every night. They had no children by choice, they say, though sometimes Laura's eyes drifted to the empty room down the hall. Their love seemed unbreakable until Laura began to forget. It started small. Laura misplaced her keys, left the oven on, called David by a name he didn't recognize, Michael. David thought it was stress, or maybe early memory loss. But then Laura began to remember things that never happened. Arguments they never had, trips they never took, secrets David swore he never told her. One night, she asked him about a cabin in the woods. David laughed it off. They'd never owned a cabin. But Laura grew quiet and whispered, "You promised me we'd never go back there." Days turned to weeks. Laura began waking up screaming, crying about voices in the walls. She said she could see a child, a little boy, standing in the doorway of the empty room. David tried to comfort her. He told her they never had a child, but Laura insisted, "He's ours. His name is Adam. Don't you remember?" David felt the world slip sideways. At first, he blamed stress, fatigue, his own guilt for never giving her the family she wanted. But when he started seeing the boy too, just a flicker at the corner of his vision, he knew something was deeply wrong. Desperate, David searched through old boxes in the attic. He found old videotapes from their wedding, their early years. But there, hidden behind the boxes, was an unlabeled tape. When he played it, he saw Laura, younger, holding a baby. She was singing a lullaby to a boy with dark hair. David watched himself on the tape, too, smiling, rocking the baby to sleep. But David didn't remember any of it. Shaking, he asked Laura where the tape came from. She only whispered, "You made me forget. You promised it would be better if we both forgot." Memories flooded back like poison. David remembered the cabin in the woods, the argument, the accident. He remembered the cold ground, the shallow grave, the way they both decided never to speak of Adam again. He remembered finding a man who promised he could take the pain away. He didn't want Laura to live with the guilt, so he made her forget. But memories have a way of clawing back when you least expect them, and some debts can never truly be buried. One night, Laura stood at the doorway of the empty room, staring at the corner. "He wants to come home," she whispered. David begged her to stop, to come back to bed, to forget again. But Laura turned to him with tears in her eyes and said, "We can't forget him again, David. He's waiting for us." The next morning, David woke up alone. Laura was gone, and at the edge of the woods, near where the old cabin once stood, fresh footprints sank into the damp soil. 2 sets of footprints, one large, one impossibly small. David never found Laura. Some nights, the neighbors swear they hear lullabies drifting from the empty house. If you walk past the window at night, you might see a woman standing there, cradling something in her arms, singing softly to a child no one remembers. They say memories fade for a reason, but some things, some people, refuse to be forgotten. Thank you for listening to Tales of Unusual. If you enjoyed tonight's story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more haunting tales that stay with you long after the lights go out. Until next time, sleep well, and remember, memory is not always your friend.